Shin Kamen Rider opened to mostly positive reviews, but still a little mixed nonetheless. A common criticism being that it would have been better as a TV show rather than a movie. Well, guess what? They did it. They actually did it. We can see how true those claims were and whether or not this makes the story better or not, because they actually turned Shin Kamen Rider into a TV show, and I just finished watching it. I was lucky enough to get my hands on this glorious Shin Masked Rider Japanese Blu-ray release, and on a bonus disc, it includes a re-edited version of Shin Kamen Rider as 5 to 20, 30-ish minute episodes. The most fun thing about this re-edited version is the new things that are added. Like, there isn't much, but what's there is still beautiful. First of all, the opening that they made as, I think it was like the first teaser for the movie, plays rightfully at the start of each episode, as well as fun supercut sneak peeks at the episode we're about to watch. Some of the new openings also show newly seen footage to replicate some of those later openings in the original show as well, and it's awesome. On top of that, we also get a brand new ending sequence mimicking the endings of the show. Actually, there are a couple different versions of the ending sequence, and it's awesome. As well as the final episode where we're left with Kamen Rider 2+1, we get a completely new ending sequence with the super long-haired Ichimonji, as well as next on supercuts at the ends of each episode. And of course, we also get new artwork breaking up the episodes inspired by the original show and the original art that plays during the halfway point of each episode for commercial breaks. We also get new episode titles, which are really fun. Alright, here we go. Here they are. Alright, Act 1, The Mysterious Spider Og. Act 2, The Fearsome Bat Og. Act 3, The Mysterious Scorpion Og and the Mysterious Wasp Og. Act 4, Part 1, Death Fight. Confront the vengeful demon Kamakiri Og. Rider versus the second Grasshopper Og. Act 4, Part 2, The Ultimate Superhuman Butterfly Og and the 13 Kamen Riders. You gotta love those direct translations with the really clunky sequence of words. I don't know, it just makes it so much more fun, you know? I love it. Now, Shin Kamen Rider. Personally, I love the movie. I love the fact that being in charge of this big superhero IP in Japan didn't stop Anno from approaching it with his own creativity and unconventional ideas. And I know, some people didn't like that, and honestly, that just makes me love it more. For not being a normalized, washed-over piece of everyday media. It stands out from the crowd, and I just love that. But now, as a TV series, how does Shin Kamen Rider fare? Honestly, really great. And I know I just said I love the movie, so maybe you're like, oh yeah, it's whatever, but who cares? It's great. To me, the movie itself builds nicely in a similar way to something like, I think the closest thing I can compare to would be probably Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which I realized that actually last time I watched Scott Pilgrim. The first half is very quickly establishing the situation and then immediately moving from one opponent to the next, feeling very much like their own little segments, but they just keep moving from the next to the next to the next, and it's just a lot of fun. And then around the halfway mark, we start to, notice the biggest foe's presence more, and then we get through another round to make it to the final fight. Amongst all the chaos, there's also some nice moments of downtime to just sit with the characters, but a lot of it is just building and building from one thing to the next to the next to the next in a really entertaining way. So that already feels like that could work as a TV show, because that's how a lot of TV shows actually do operate. Here's the thing, the TV version of this is pretty much just the same thing, sectioned off into episodes and then having breaks in between episodes and halfway points. But Shin Kamen Rider in 5 episodes really lets those distinct sections have their own space to breathe, even if they're just the same sections. The movie feels very fast, whereas the TV show, with the mindset of having these distinct episodes separated by openings and endings and all that, the story already feels like it's taking more time. Even though it isn't. It's taking pretty much the same amount of time, just with some endings. There are a lot of deleted scenes on this Blu-ray, about an hour and a half worth of just deleted scenes. There are a lot of alternate action scenes, and actual practically filmed action scenes. Don't get me wrong, I actually really enjoyed the physics-defying exploding CGI bonkers fight scenes in this movie, or in the show, I guess. And I don't wish that they weren't there. And I know Anno went with those because he wasn't as happy with the practical scenes and everything. But I just wish that they used those deleted fight scenes. I mean, they might be better. Because it's not like we didn't see any of it. The Spider Og segment, which is like the first 20 minutes, is easily my favorite section of the movie. Because we get the rider kick and jumping down the dam with, the fun, goofy CGI and all that. As well as just so much practical fighting. Like, most of that is actually just, like, practical people going at it, like actual people. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. So yeah, I would love an extended version to integrate more of those scenes. There would need to be, some more changes for these locations to make sense because they're kind of in like completely different places. But the ultimate question, is Shin Kamen Rider better as a TV show than a movie? Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. It's probably just as good. But personally, I still prefer it as a movie, as it's, what is originally made. I did also kind of miss the song Where You Go during the credits, I'll be honest. But I get it. It did work better without that song for the episodic format. It just made more sense, but I like it in the movie. It's great. Oh, and one more thing. After the final ending, there is a concept trailer for Shin Kamen Rider Masker World. And you know it's good because it starts with a Martin Luther quote. What was it? It all starts with a dream. So, I mean, come on, right? You know. And this footage is basically the team went out with different suits from the Shin Kamen Rider movie and filmed a little snippet fight scene, as well as just some other shots for actors spliced in, like how a trailer would be edited. It would make me so happy if Anno got to make this someday, but honestly, I'm not convinced Toei would do it, but, we'll see.